Hey guys, so the other day I gave you this piece of paper. It says thesis statements on it. I am going to talk to you briefly about how we're going to go over this information and how you transfer this to your own decade. Okay, so up here I give you a definition of what a thesis statement is, how we build one, and then the rules. So you're going to need to go ahead and answer those questions for yourself. So we looked at the actual assignment and we recopied the essential question. How is the personality of America reflected through your two topics? Okay, so that's what's going to go right here. And then you're going to really kind of think about what personality means. If you're asking somebody to describe their personality, what are you actually describing? Okay, so then when we move to the second page, we're going to take a look at what are synonyms for personality, and then what does characterize mean? Characterize is when we're describing something, but the key is that when we characterize, we describe with adjectives. So that's where this part comes into play, okay? So you're going to turn the paper over and you're going to use the Venn diagram to help kind of organize your ideas so that you can figure out the characteristics and the adjectives that are going to describe what your two topics have in common. So you're going to write each name of the topic up at the top. Okay, so for example, 60s music and 60s fashion. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to start listing things from my notes. It could be subtopics. It could be specific things about maybe flower prints on clothing. Maybe the clothing was very free-flowing. Lots of bright colors and designs. Okay, this was also during the hippie movement. So then over here, when I'm talking about 60s music, I might talk about protest wars and music that, sort of was a new sound. People like Jimi Hendrix, then people like the Grateful Dead, and how their music was very sort of calming and relaxing. Then, most importantly, I'm going to take a look at what these two topics have in common. This is going to require you to do some thinking. Okay, so what do these two topics have in common? Are both of these topics about creating peace? Are both of these topics about bringing people together so for the common good? Are both of these topics about making a statement? What are some of the things that your two topics have in common? Again, it's going to require you to think. No teacher is going to have the answers for you. You have to figure out what your two topics have in common. Okay, and that's what's going to go in the middle. All right? Once you have that, you're going to look back at this page and you're either going to click on one of these two links or use the vocabulary words here, and you're going to maybe circle 2 or 3 adjectives that describe what this in the middle represents. Okay, so I might say, for the example that I just gave, I might say patriotic, I might say enthusiastic, I might say courageous, I might also say proud. There are a whole litany of words that I could use, okay? The most important part, once you have these words circled, is taking a look at the bottom. For your thesis statement, you need to have 3 things. If you don't have these 3 things, then that's going to be an issue. You have to include your decade in your thesis statement. You have to include the adjectives that describe the feeling, and you have to include your 2 major topics. Okay? So I gave you some examples of how you're going, of what the thesis statements could look like. So you can model yours after any of these, or you can create your own as long as you have those 3 components in your thesis statement, okay? So then after you do that, you're going to write your possible thesis statement right here, okay? If you have any questions after watching this video and trying this yourself, obviously you can see one of your teachers in the library or before or after school, okay? Hope this helped. Bye.